Hello, Tiffany. Okay. Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Microphone check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Tiffany, can you hear?
Yeah, we hear you, but it's so low.
Okay,
I don't know
yeah.
if it's something on our end, but I do hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very low.
Our
What's happening?
volume, yeah, our volume is cranked, so cranked on our end. So,
Well,
yeah. Uh,
okay.
all right. All right, everybody. Joining us today is a very, very special guest here for Thornwood High School, home of the Thunderbirds, is the 2014 Gatorade Player of the Year. She is currently the LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Candace Parker of the NCAA. She is the future 2021 Naismith Award winner. Yes, I'm speaking it into existence. Fresh off her 11th 30-point game in her Arkansas Razorback career and 37-point performance and leading her Lady Razorbacks to a 90-87 upset win over perennial powerhouse UConn. She is ESPN's top 10 performer, first team All SEC 2020, 2021, and USA basketball gold medalist. Let's give a big, warm South Side of Chicago welcome to the most prolific scorer in University of Arkansas history, Miss Chelsea Dungee. Uh,
Unmute myself. There we go.
yeah. Was
Um,
you able to hear the introduction?
yes, I was.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
everyone. Thanks for having me.
No, no.
Um, I'll let you talk.
Oh, no, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say hi to everyone. Like I said, I'm glad that you had me on the call. I'm here to answer any questions that anyone has. Um,
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So before we go into the Q&A portion, definitely I'll start off with the first couple of questions. And anyone that has a question, ladies, please put in the chat. And then I'll either read your question or I'll pass you the microphone so you can ask your question personally. So first question that I have, congratulations on your historic performance, the greatest win in school history last Thursday against Powerhouse UConn, 37 points. Um, I believe like 7 rebounds, 5 assists. How gratifying was it to you know, to to accomplish such a great feat on a big stage against a perennial powerhouse in front of fans? Because at the Bud Walton Arena, y'all had over 4,000 fans. So having Razorback Nation on hand as well, how gratifying was that? Mute. You gotta mute.
oh, sorry. Um, we had Vanderbilt on our schedule at first. And because of COVID protocol, they weren't able to play. And just our team mentality and us and our coach as an individual, we wanted to play the best of the best, especially with such a senior-driven class. We have 7 seniors on the team. Um, so we wanted to play the best of the best, and it came down to a few schools, and we wanted to play UConn. We were excited to. I walked around here in Fayetteville saying I can't wait to play. I can't wait to play UConn. I can't wait to play UConn because there are 11 national championships. Gino Ariama is such an amazing coach, and I knew what a big opportunity it was for our team and for me as an individual. Uh,
Mhm.
you know, just I think, and we were out with a few players due to COVID protocol as well. So we had 8 players. So I wanted to bring that energy and I wanted to bring that just that gathering as a team. I wanted to hold our team together. So I brought out as much energy as I could.
Mm-hmm. You gotta unmute. You gotta unmute.
Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my phone and why it keeps muting.
No, no, no problem.
But I wanted to bring that energy for our team. And, talking about the fans, we average about 42 to 50 something 100 fans a night.
Yeah.
But with the COVID stuff, of course, that's not allowed. So we did have a sold out crowd. And thanks to everyone that came out and watched it on TV. It was just amazing atmosphere that day. And that's something that we'll never forget. And we took advantage of the opportunity that was given. And that's what I'm most proud of, everyone, myself, my team, and my coaching staff.
Mm. And speaking of your coaching staff, what is it like to have such a phenomenal teacher like Coach Neighbors put 150% trust in you to put the team on your back? Like you said, you were shorthanded. You only had like 7 or 8 players on the overall roster, and for Coach Neighbors, obviously, to put the keys to the offense and all of the offensive and defensive schemes in your hands. How great is that to have that confidence in you?
Um, Coach Neighbors is the sole reason that I had came to Arkansas, and since being here, I've absolutely fell in love with Fayetteville, with the fans and everyone. But Naves as a person is what brought me here. He's such an amazing person, and I feel like people get on here and preach that all the time, but I'm seriously saying it from like my heart. I trusted him with my career. Trust goes both ways. I absolutely put all my trust into him, and working hard every single day, being that leader, he put all his trust in me as well. And that's such an amazing feeling. And when you get out there and you have that mutual feeling, you can't do anything but play hard. If I didn't play as hard as I could every game, I would feel that I let him down because of how strong our trust and our bond is. And I
Hmm.
think about that every time I step on the court. Of course, with many other things, my mom, myself,
Hmm.
just the accountability that I have for myself and for the game. I feel like I would do it injustice if I didn't give my best on every play into this university and this opportunity. College has changed my life. I haven't had the best background. It's something that I'll be forever thankful for because, like I said, it's changed my life for the better. And I'm just so thankful again for Coach Neighbors and the
Hmm.
University of Arkansas for accepting me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, it's this is a twofold question, and then students, ladies, coaches, anyone that has questions, please raise your hand or put it in the chat, and then I'll pass the microphone to you. Who was your favorite basketball player growing up? The reason why I ask is just seeing you on the court, your game kind of resembles a combination of quite a few players, a combination of D Wade, Kobe Bryant, Paul Pierce, um, a combination of those three, being a combo guard. Who was your favorite basketball player growing up?
I had a few. I love mine more, Skylar Diggins, but on the games, on video games and stuff as a kid, I used to love Allen Iverson. That's why
The
I
answer.
do the crossover. But as a kid, Allen Iverson was just everything to me. I played in the video games. I wanted to be like him. I wanted my crossover to be like him. And I think that you kind of see that in the game now. My crossover is just my go-to. And, I watched everything. I watched how he placed his foot. I watched how he manipulated and looked another way and then crossed real low behind the defender's hands. I just love
They
Allen
they
Iverson.
they they always show me being from Chicago, repping the Bulls. They always show to this very day AI's rookie year where he crossed over Jordan and
Yeah. Love him. Like I said, Maya Moore, Skylar Diggins, Elena Deladon. I like them all for different reasons. It could be energy. It could be the way they style the play.
Mm,
Uh, how they conduct themselves off the court. I've just picked up a lot of things from everyone and just kind of made it in my own and fit it into my personality, into my my game.
absolutely. Coach Ramsey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm Coach Ramsey. I'm one of the Chicago Lady Demons coach. I coach the eighth grade girls and assist with the high school. So we know that we can give our life stories to the girls of how it took hard work and dedication to get to where we are now. But I believe it comes a lot better from someone that is still in the process getting to the WNBA and get into college and get into the high school of their dreams. So if you can elaborate and explain to the girls what it truly takes to get to the level that you're currently at and get to the level to where you want to be, just elaborate on that to them and
You know,
give
you
them
know, it
ideas
comes
and
absolutely. It comes with a lot of overcoming adversity, and you'll figure it out throughout your entire life. The better you are at overcoming adversity, the better off you'll be able to handle situations. And I'll tell you a little bit of my background. Maybe some can relate, maybe some can't. But I came from a single parent household. My dad was never in my life. Um, my mom didn't have a degree. And the struggles that come with that. Um, that takes adversity in itself, and to keep pushing and to keep playing through things. My house burnt down. I lived in a hotel for 3 or 4 months. Um, my mom had a few dollars to feed us sometimes, and just all of those things, and to keep pushing. And basketball was my outlet. It was a way to make my mom proud. It was a way of, you know, all the things that my mom did. It was my way of thanking her every single day, and I still got to do that to today. Every time I get on the court, she's at every home game, and I look at her and I just pray and I thank God for everything that she's done, and that was shown to me as a kid to keep pushing through adversity. And now she has a doctorate degree. She's worked really, really hard. I just graduated in communication, so that's a little bit off the court. But on the court, like I said, just basketball was my outlet, and I gave everything to that. When I was upset, I would go in the gym and shoot until I wasn't upset anymore. Uh, Even on good days, when you're feeling good, sometimes people forget that is when everything's good, they kind of back off, or you don't continue to work as hard, or you don't shoot. And I think that's pushed me, especially with all the things that I've accomplished in college. I just keep pushing. I want to be better than that. Um, I want to be better than that game every single game, and whatever that might be. It might be a few more steals, a few more rebounds. Just giving your best effort on every play. And we think that we're giving our best effort sometimes, and then we look back at the film and you're like, you know what, I could have done a lot better in that. So watching film, watching yourself, being honest with yourself. Sometimes we trick our minds into thinking we're working harder than what we are. So catching yourself in that. And, when I come to practice, that's only a few hours out of the day. So I block everything out, and I'm where I'm at that time. And I think that's taken me a long ways in life.
And then, oh, go ahead. And going and touching upon your upbringing, just the reason why your message resonates with our youth in the city of Chicago is your perseverance and your resiliency, and that's why you're considered a hero and idol here in Chicago.
Thank you.
So I don't know how often you're in Chicago, but you have a huge fan base with the youth here.
Well, thank you so much. That feels good. Thank you.
And going back to you coming growing up in Oklahoma,
Mhm.
with everything that was going on off the court, uh you still had the perseverance and the resiliency and fight to still lead Preston High School to back-to-back state titles as a freshman and sophomore. Take us into going back to high school. Just the amount of hard work, 24/7 around the clock hard work to be back-to-back state champions in Oklahoma.
Yeah. So anywhere that I play, I want to win what the highest. If it's AAU nationals, if it's high school championship, if it's a college Final Four, a national championship, every team that I play on, I have that mentality to want to be and want this team to be the best that they can. And I think you've kind of seen that throughout my career. But in high school, like I said, my mom poured so much into me as growing up that I left everything out there all the time. I just played really hard. And like I said, it's just the willingness to win. Like, I want to win a national championship. I want to win a high school championship. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I showed up every day and talked about and preached to my team, that we're going to do this.
So. Yep. And speaking of, that's what we were going to ask next. Do you see the Lady Razorbacks with the Final Four ceiling come first week of April?
Absolutely. We've showed the ability. We've had some mishaps in our season and lost some games that we shouldn't have. And, I think we grow from them. Some teams can grow from them, and some teams, don't, because they don't look at the right things. And I think we've grown from those losses. But you're talking about beating UConn, number 3 in the country and first in the coaches poll. You're talking about Baylor. You're talking about, we were a 10 seed last year and we made it to the SEC championship, playing a 1 seed. And the SEC tournament, you have to win 3 or 4 games in a row to even make it to the championship. And you're playing teams like South Carolina, which was number 2 in the country. You're playing Georgia, a great team, night in and night out. So if you haven't been tested throughout the season and you don't have that mentality and that callous, you won't be able to win games like that in a row. During our season, we play Thursday and Sundays, so you have a few days to get it together. But that mentality grows throughout the season to be able to do things like that when it's time and when that opportunity presents itself. And, when we played UConn and Baylor, if we didn't go to Florida and play Maryland's and we lost, I think, by 20 or something, and grew from that and grew from, the team things that we needed to work on off the court and on the court, we wouldn't have been able to win games like that. And, like I said, we're just a senior-driven team. We know what it's like. We've been in these positions 3 or 4 or 5 years now. And I think we know how to win big games. And I think you'll see that in the NC2A tournament, is that we know how to win big games. We know what it takes. And it's just about being consistent. We've proven to the world and to the country that we can beat the number 1 team in the country. We can beat the number 2 team in the country in the same season. So it's just about being consistent now throughout the rest of the SEC conference and going into, March Madness.
Yeah. You play Arkansas plays a 4-guard small ball offense. How confusing is that offense to your opponent? I know you don't care how confusing it is on y'all end, but how confusing is it on the opponent's end?
I think about that sometimes when I get home, and it's tough because I play the 4, but we don't have, like you said, we have a 4-guard offense. But on other teams, they have a 3-guard offense and 2 post players majority of the time. So that's matching up a 4-player with a guard. And then a guard that gets to the basket, that likes to draw contact, that finds the open man and kicks it out. That's really tough for 40 minutes. Because not only do you have to guard 4 guards, which takes a lot of energy because we move up and down the floor. I think we're like 3rd in the country, 4th, 5th in the country, top 5. Yeah. And we shoot it a lot. We score a lot. I think we average like almost 90 points a game. So that takes a lot of possessions, and that takes a lot of conditioning as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that gets to other teams. And when we look down there in the bench in the huddle and we see they're tired, we crank it up a notch. This is the time to go when they're tired, when they feel like they don't have any more. That's
Oh,
the time, and those are the advantages that we
at
get.
that second half. Yep, that second half is where it really kicks in for the opponents.
Absolutely. And then we don't ever stop running, from the time that it starts until the game is over. We constantly run. I think
Mm-hmm.
we shoot it within, this is not always good, but I think we shoot it within, 10 to 15 seconds, almost every possession. Um, it just takes a lot of conditioning, and it's tough to guard four guards with two post players.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where our advantage is, and being able to shoot it so well from the perimeter. We have Amber that shoots 45, 46% from the three. We have Slocum, a top 10 point guard in the country.
Yeah.
We got Michaela that's been in here and has experience. So, you better come to play when you come to Arkansas.
um, with the COVID-19 restrictions and guidelines, does each player have to test before each game?
So we have to test 3 times a week um, to keep everyone safe, and we'll test 2 days before every game because it takes a day to get the test back. So if anyone's positive, we'll be able to catch it before we go into the game. And all the SEC teams have the same protocol. So when we play other conferences, we have to check in and make sure that their protocol matches our protocol so that where they're not getting us sick and we're not getting them sick. But yeah, we test 3 times a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh my goodness. What has been the toughest part of the COVID-19 pandemic? Obviously we touched upon it earlier. You're used to Bud Walton Arena being jam-packed full of Razorback fans, and even though you're one of the few NCAA teams that is accepting fans, it's at a limited capacity. I think you're at, was it a little bit over 4,000, is about 15%, if I'm doing my quick math right,
Yeah,
of the
that's right.
capacity at Bud Walton. So so I know that part, the fan interaction is one of it. What has been the toughest adjustment for you over the last 10, 11 months?
Um, team chemistry is a big thing because we have a lot of freshmen, we have a lot of incoming, we had a grad transfer, and that can be tough sometimes because we fly the day of games now, which in the previous years we used to stay the night before. And our coach would take us out and do some kind of team activity. He would take us to plays or take us to things that maybe we haven't experienced or never had the opportunity to. So in the hotels, playing around, playing games, playing Uno, getting to know your teammates. We've tried to figure out how to get that team chemistry together. But of course, COVID has affected everything. Like you said, the fans. We don't get to sign autographs or take pictures. We don't get to interact with them as much. The plane rides, every day, eating in the cafeteria. The training room, everything is a lot different. So trying to stay connected as much as we can and still trying to talk to our teammates and getting to know them, like off the court. Because once you know them as a person and you look to your left and to your right, I want to play for you just as much as I want you to play for me. And I think those teams that have that make it a long ways, and they have a fun season. And it's not only about basketball. It's having fun while you're at it, because you can play and it's not fun. But getting to know your teammates, like I said, personally, and just being genuine when you're at it. But like I said, COVID has affected everything, and it sucks. But you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, definitely. And then traveling on the road, uh, I know pre-COVID, I know a lot of NCAA programs had like a traveling tutor accompany the
Mm-hmm.
team on the road
Yeah.
trips. Um, um, with COVID right now, And obviously you want to limit the folks that the traveling party and that type of thing. So does the team still have a traveling tutor accompany you on the road trips, or is it more limited to essential, administration staff, coaching staff?
You know, we have tutors that all kind of moved to Zoom, but we do have some in tutoring, but it's the availability is still the same. It does, like I said, it does look different, but if you can't pass classes, you can't play. You know, that's the most important
Yep.
thing. Um, so that comes first and foremost.
Hmm.
But yeah, the availability is still the same. It just kind of looks a little bit different. We'll be talking, through Zoom instead of face to face.
Yeah. How is the workouts specifically for your team? We have high school ballers on the call right now, and here in Illinois, in the state of Illinois, in Chicago, we've really been closed down over the past 10, 11 months. So the workout dynamic is different. It's not, in person, or in person as often as previously. So for the Arkansas Razorbacks, the Lady Razorbacks, how has your workouts been? Have they been a combination of social distancing at the arena and Zoom workouts? How are those workouts before upcoming SEC contest?
So we used to have 12 before COVID. Everyone would work out together, but now we have groups of 6. Um, so it's kind of spread out, and everyone will have their own rack in the weight room. And on the court, when we have individual workouts, it'd be cut into like 3. So groups of 3s or groups of 4 maybe, but it's usually no bigger than that. And actually, you know what? It's kind of a good thing, because you get more attention one on one. Um, but I've
Hmm.
done a lot of things outside of the court and outside of the gym. A big thing for me that I've never been good at until this year, and still have a long ways to go, is stretching. I don't think that's preached enough, to be honest. So I have all kind of stretch bands and all kind of things like that I do all the time at home. I'll be laying there watching a movie, and I'll have the stretch band stretching my hamstrings and quads and things like that. Um, and that's a big part of the game. Once you get to this level and you've played 4 or 5 years and your body's beat up, and the way and the style of play that I play, I take a lot of contact every game. So it's not only their responsibility. I think it's a little bit of our responsibility as well. Staying hydrated too. People always say drink water, and these are the things,
I
but
was just gonna ask you that. How much
yeah.
water intake per day would you suggest a baller like some of the ballers that's on the call now per day to stay hydrated?
I don't know if
But
you
but
guys
but 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 not overdo it.
Yeah. Well, for one, I have a little secret that I drink. Maybe a few people do too, but I've seen a few WNBA players, a few NBA players just kind of in the background, and I've talked to a few of them. The drink Pedialyte. After games, I'll drink a big bottle of Pedialyte. But on just a regular basis, I'm a real competitive person. On the court, off the court, I want to win everything that I do. So I have this water jug that's a gallon, and I try to drink it every day. All the I don't always drink a gallon a day, but that's my goal, and I need to get better at that. But I have this big gallon that says like 8 a.m. You guys might have seen it before, but it has like 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 a.m., and it stops at 8 p.m. And because I'm a competitive person, and this might work for others if you guys are real competitive off the court as well, I look at it like a competition. I'm like, I got to drink my water at 8 o'clock, and then I'll see the 10 o'clock line, and if I'm not there, I'm like, let me drink mine until 10 o'clock. And I feel like those are stages, and like I'm not gonna let this beat me. It sounds
No.
a little different in my head, but that's kind of how I look at it, and it gets me to drink all my water. So
Hmm. What foods, and this is also for the young ladies on the call, what foods should one eat and not eat before a basketball game, or any contest, like a lot of the students on the call, they're in 3 or 4 different activities in addition to basketball. So what type of foods do you personally eat and stay away from before a game?
Um, you know, I've had a few different things I've tried over my career. But one thing that I really like is I used to be a vegetarian, and that's really difficult. But I felt so much more energy, and then that kind of got hard just because life takes you through so many things, and so I moved kind of to pescatarian where I eat like fish, well, first you have to first and foremost, school comes first because if you don't have the grades in the ACT or SAT to get in, you can't play at that. You can't play at Division 1 level, or if you don't have, maybe not even Division 1. Some school, like a lot of colleges, won't even accept you. So that comes first. My mom made me start taking the ACT when I was in 8th grade. Just to get that experience, to know what it's like, to practice the questions. I started early because I committed to Oklahoma State when I was in 8th grade. So my mom did a lot of a lot of things that people wait until they're sophomore and junior to start. I started in 8th grade. And it might not be your best score the first time, and that's okay, because you can take it as many times. But each time I got a little bit better, and I got a little bit better, and I got a little bit better, because your GPA at school is a big gauge on what you have to get on your ACT. So the better you do in high school, the lower your ACT can be to get into Division 1 colleges. So I tried to do well in school. I think I graduated with like a 3.9, and that allowed a little bit of wiggle room on the ACT. So for everyone watching this in high school, try to be the best that you can. Get the best grades that you can in high school, because it's going to pay off for you when you have to take the ACT and SAT or whatever your choice is. But so that's that. And then let's see, I continued taking the ACT until I got a 27. But like I said, I started in 8th grade, and you get 2 points higher, you get a 20. You get 2 points higher your sophomore year, and you get a 24. Just constantly wanting to get better at whatever you're doing. Because I knew the benefit in it, and
Mm,
where if I would just study and work hard through high school, what doors that could open. You never know what doors that can open.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let's see. So of course I got into college. Um, I switched my degree a few times, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And you'll realize a lot of people do that in college, and that's okay. Um, but I ended up graduating with communication because I was real shy, kind of just because of my background, and I wanted to work through that. And a communication degree, you have to get up there and do speeches a lot. You have to talk to people a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed that. And I needed that to do interviews. Um, just in everything, communication was a great thing for me. Uh,
Mm,
and I just graduated, never made. I never failed a class. Uh, so my work ethic on the court is the same off the court. And you can't
mm,
have a lousy work ethic in the things off the court, and not only school, just everything. The way you eat, the water intake, just everything. Um, is a reflection of you. You can't be these things, and then when the light is shining and adversity hits you, you think you're going to respond like this. It starts with everything that you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
What is this too early to ask you this, but are you thinking about participating for USA basketball if the Tokyo Olympics is not pushed back again this summer?
absolutely. If I had the opportunity, I always wanted to play. But anyone, I think you reap the reward that you put in. I think if you work hard off the court and you do the right things, you'll reap the reward in whatever level that is. And any college is a great opportunity and a blessing, because it teaches you so many things that you take with life. So no matter what, Division 1, Division 2, JUCO, all of it is an opportunity and a blessing. And I think that Division 1, uh, that doesn't dictate if you're good or not. Sometimes that can be you being at the right place at the right time, and things like that. But that absolutely is not the case. Like I said, every thing that you get is a blessing and an opportunity, because there's lots of people that play and lots of people that put in the same work that never get that opportunity. So I think when you're given the opportunity, you should make the most of it in whatever level, whatever degree, and whatever circumstance that is. I can't hear you. I can see you talking, but I can't hear you.
Oh no, I was just shaking my head. I'm sorry, but yeah, that does make sense. That actually does make plenty of sense. But some girls just have that mindset that I I need to go D1, and it's just like, no, you don't, because with D1, you definitely got to put in some work. Even if you play D2, D3, like you said, NIA, JUCO, wherever you go, you're still gonna have to put in that work to be
Absolutely.
like, these college coaches missed out on recruiting me and offering me a scholarship. You want to make the
Absolutely.
coaches reconsider.
Absolutely. And like we had a Lex Tofrey who was came from a JUCO. We've had transfer kids. Uh, Tofrey was a great example. She went to a JUCO. She played well, took her opportunity and did the absolute most with it, and got a Division 1 offer. And then she came here and did the most with it, and now she's playing overseas. I think making $50,000 a year, and she started at a JUCO. So take it, like I said, this just goes back to taking the opportunity that you are and making the absolute most with it. It doesn't matter where you go to school. You can end up anywhere, literally anywhere.
Mm.
That is definitely true. Just one last question, and then I'll probably be done.
Okay.
Can you elaborate on the true definition of a student athlete?
That's a different caliber, and if that's what you want to be, you need to accept all the things that come with it, and you need to have that mindset and be ready, because there's a lot of things that come with it, and like I said, overcoming adversity, and many other things. But school, being able to balance things in life too. You have to be able to balance doing schoolwork with getting shots up, with playing in the game, with doing all the community service around that. So being able to balance that. So if you can figure out how to do that in high school now, it's gonna pay forward when you get to college. And I think that's one thing that I wish I would have done a little bit better at in high school. It is managing things. Which I kind of had to figure out in college. I had to figure those things out. Yeah, just doing the things that are asked and doing more than that. You know, if they ask me to be on practice, to be at practice on time every time, you know, I'm not just going to be at practice on time. I'm going to shoot shots before practice. I'm going to stay after practice after. And just like college, I'm going to go to class, I'm going to be attentive, and I'm going to be where I'm at. You know, it's easy to get on our phones because of the society we live in and all the distractions. But, you know, like I said from the beginning, just being where you're at that moment. Class is what, an hour and a half? And you might have 3 or 4, but those are hour-and-a-half segments, and you get a break and you get an hour-and-a-half segment. Those are the things they're gonna build you and make you grow. It's not the things on Instagram or Twitter or things. So like I'm where I'm at when I'm where I'm supposed to be. That makes sense. I'm gonna give everything that I got when I step into the gym. When I step into the classroom, you have my full attention. Yeah. And that's, like I said, that's something I had to learn. I didn't start off great at that at all. I was one of them that sometimes will get distracted and do this and do that. But as the years go on, I realized the benefit in those things, because those things like translate off the court too. Being able to talk to somebody and staying engaged and overnight.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Um, basically, we got like 2 or 3 more questions because I know you got to study film on your next opponent, Mizzou, tomorrow night, um, and everything. How instrumental has your mom been throughout your journey as a basketball legend? And I can definitely resonate with your story. You know, I'm a product of a single mom household. I remember my mom getting up at 4 in the morning, working 3 jobs to make sure the light bills were paid, the lights were on, food was on the table. As my mom single-handedly was raising me and my younger brother. So I definitely, you know, have the utmost appreciation for all single moms. How important was your mom throughout your journey?
My mom was so important. You know, in everything that I did, she supported me the best way that she could. And like you said, you see your mom do those things, and so that builds something in you. There's something different in you that others don't have, and sometimes that's hard to explain what that feeling is. And sometimes you have to be in that, and those people that are, like you said, raised by single parents, and know what that feeling is that I'm trying to explain. But she just pushed me, and that strong mentality that I have, and that grit came from my mom. You know, she showed me that. She showed me what it's like to have to get up and work hard every single day, with little support or minimal support. You know, my mom is amazing. Sometimes I can't even explain all the feelings because of just how grateful that I am. But everything that I do, and the reason I play so hard every day, is because of those sacrifices she made when I was a kid. There's so many other things that she could have done or could have been doing, but she dedicated all of her energy and time into making me who I am today. And, you know, that's, like I said, that feeling in you, that feeling is why I do what I do. That feeling, like, once you find that feeling in whatever you're doing, you'll be the best at it.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely. And
And Mr. Coleman, I
go
had a
ahead.
quick question
Go ahead.
for her. Yeah, just want to know, what kind of advice would you give the high school athletes? Because I was just thinking. So I played football in college, and you know, I saw the glamour of, you know, college athletes and things like that, and I loved the sport, you know. But I didn't know everything that it entails, you know, as far as, like, I wasn't ready for 6 a.m. Conditioning, studying
Yeah.
rehab, practice, you know, everything. Like, my whole day was scripted by our coaches. And I mean, I loved the sport, you know, but I wasn't ready because no one told me about how much work and how much, like, your life is kind of detailed for you. You know, it's almost minute by minute of you know, what the coach tells you that you're going to do, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's still kind of the same way. But like just going through the things in my life, like when I was thrown in, I had to adapt. No, like you said, I wasn't used to the 6 a.m.s. Back when I went to school at OU, we had 6 a.m. All the way through the summer. So that took some getting used to for sure. But once I got used to it, I was at the front of the pack. But you know, you go in and you have to be open minded. 6 a.m. You're like, I used to be like, oh God, I don't know how I'm gonna get up, and I would be thinking about it the day before. But you know, once you accept that that's your life for the next 4 years, you got to change that mentality. I started to be like, you know what, I can't wait to get up at 6 a.m., go get this workout, and start class. But like you said, it went from 6 a.m. to an 8:30 class, to a 10 o'clock class, to lunch, to practice for 3 or 4 hours, and studying, school, homework, and you restart all over again for 4 years. So the quicker you can come to that mentality that I'm grateful to be here, and there's so many other, my life could have went so many other ways, the easier to get for you. And I catch myself sometimes still, I'll wake up and I'm like, oh, my body hurts, this and that. But then I realize the situation I'm in, and there's very few people that get to be in this situation. And that, like I said, that comes from doing the right things all the time and holding yourself accountable. Your parents can hold you accountable, coaches can hold you accountable, but first and foremost, you have to hold yourself accountable. What do I want to put out to the world? What do I want to put out to my teammate? How do I want people to perceive who I am? And they can kind of take that however they want to. But like I said, just doing the right thing all the time is it'll pay you back. It will pay you back. And it might be 1 year, 2 years, but it's going to come full circle.
Mhm. How and one of the last questions that we have, what I I I know that you have a Final Four in your sights and everything. How have you been? How have you separated yourself from the team goals compared to it's been a lot of chatter out there about you possibly being, you know, down the road the number one overall WNBA draft pick, 2021 Naismith Player of the Year talk. How have you been able to juggle the two, and obviously maintaining, you know, the number one priority, which is the team goals and making the Final Four?
You know, I do a few different things. One little funny thing is I have this big mirror in my bathroom, and I have these post-it notes, and I write some of my goals down, and I write some of just some positive quotes. But like I said, I write some of those goals down, and I stick them on the mirrors, and it looks a little funny. But every time I accomplish one of them for myself, I take it down. And you know, that's just kind of like a little motivational wall that I have for myself. And like I said, everyone has their own goals in life, and my goal might not be the same as somebody on my team. But that doesn't dictate how many shots I'm going to put up or how hard I'm going to work. It comes from within, you know. Who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Do I want to be an average player, or do I want to be a great player? You know, on and off the court, who do I want to be? And I ask myself that in certain situations, and I write, like I said, I write those things down and my goals down on the mirror, and like I said, I take one off every time, and that's just something that, like, it makes me happy to do that. It's just one of those reassurance things. It's just one of those, like, okay, that bucket list is gone. What's the next thing? And it keeps me motivated and keeps me pushing for the next goal. And it keeps me holding myself accountable. When I look at those things every day, they make me just wake up with a different type of energy. If it's a post-it note with wanting to be the SEC Player of the Year, well, I don't just wake up and look at the mirror and I'm the SEC Player of the Year. No, like, I go to practice every day with this goal. I do everything with this goal so that I can take that post-it down and move to the next thing, whether that be a first round pick in the WNBA. Like that's one thing on my on my mirror. And, you know, I'm going to work hard every single day until I become that.
Mm. Well, we've been hearing chatter, you possibly being the first overall pick. So that's the chatter that we're getting. But yeah, absolutely, and that's something that I do on occasion as well. So definitely,
That's awesome.
brilliant minds think alike. Um, what are songs that motivate you the most, whether it be before a workout or in the pregame layup drill line? What songs
um,
motivate you?
I listen to things, and I watch. Everything that I do is something that I can relate to or I can feel. Whether that be music, TV shows, whatever it is, I'm a big person, and if I can relate to it, that's what I like. So, you know, I listen to Lil Baby. Dirk is one of my favorites. Chicago.
Chicago.
Hey. But you know, I like I said, I just listen to lyrics that I feel like I can relate to. I listen to a lot of motivational quotes before games. I'm reading a book right now by David Goggins.
Oh yeah.
It's called Can't Hurt Me. So if you guys are looking for a really good book, it's an amazing book. So check that out. But like I said, I just listen to a lot of motivational things, you know, that just keep my mind in this this determined mode, this go get it mode, you know.
Mm-hmm. And the last question that we have, which is definitely prevalent for all high school students, you know, not just in Chicago, but throughout. Was there a point in time in your life where you had to cut off negative people and negative friends in your life that was given, whether it be negative vibes or jealous of you or trying to take advantage of you? Was there a point in time where you just had to cut off the dead weight?
Absolutely. You know, that can be one of the most difficult challenges in life, but it's the most necessary also. Uh, Absolutely. You know, your circle starts this big, and it slowly starts to get like this as you realize people that aren't genuine, and you can feel that.
Mhm.
People that aren't genuine, that don't motivate you, that don't keep your best interest in mind. You can see those things, you can feel those things, you can tell by the way that they interact with you. But cutting those people off is necessary. And I found more energy in myself. It sounds kind of, I don't know, but once I cut them off, you know, I got more energy. I felt like something was lifted off of me, like dead weight, you know. And like I said, that can be very, very difficult. And sometimes it takes communication, talking with them. Hey, this is how I feel about this. And talking through those things. And after that, if you realize that that's not who you want around you, that's your choice. It's absolutely your choice. But I try to keep highly motivated and highly just people that have a lot of energy around me. I like to have a lot of energy in whatever I do, and I don't want anybody around me that's drowning that energy or taking that energy away or being an energy like vampire. I want positivity around me. And it can be critical sometimes if you're making me better as a person, as a basketball player. But those are things that you should absolutely keep your eye open to and see how you feel around those people. How do I feel when I'm around this person? It's just kind of where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, in your time that you visited Chicago, was it during the McDonald's All-Star contest at the United Center, or was it for various other tournament related stuff?
I wish it was, but no, you know, it's just kind of just vacation. I love Chicago. I love the city. I love the people. I love the energy. Like I said, I love all of that. I love walking down the street and seeing all types of different you know, thing. You see so many things in Chicago, so many varieties, and I absolutely love that. I absolutely love seeing people do what makes them happy and being who they are. And I think you see a lot of that in Chicago. But a lot of it was just vacation. But I would love to play in Chicago someday. And I'd love to come meet you guys sometime.
Yeah, definitely. The Thunderbird basketball court is open. We got the key. We got the keys awaiting you. You know, so
Yeah,
please
thank you so much.
let us know the next time you're in Chicago. Um, let's
Will do.
let's let's give a big Thunderbird on behalf of SCJR Educational Initiative and Thornwood High School, home of the Thunderbirds. A big round of applause to the LeBron James of the NCAA, Chelsea Dungee, as we give positive vibes to her Lady Razorbacks in their upcoming road conquest versus the Mizzou Tigers tomorrow night in SEC action. So thank you so much, Miss Dungee.
Thank you, and good luck through the rest of the season.
No, thank you. And if the Razorbacks aren't in the Final Four, we're gonna be looking at you. No, just kidding.
No, we're gonna be looking at her. We're gonna be looking at her.
Hey, I'll take it. We won't let you down. I'll give my
Much
best.
love and respect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
All right, y'all.